Hi, I'm John DeVore. Welcome to the DeVore Fidelity YouTube channel. Today's going to be a record review, but before I get into the review part of it, I wanted to talk about why I chose this record. This was not a record that was on my radar at all to do a video about, even though it's a record that I like a lot. So before I get into the record itself, I want to set up the why. Before I set up the why, I want to set up the setup. So here goes. One of my all-time favorite movies is a science fiction movie released in 1956 called Forbidden Planet. And here we have a little bit of a spoiler alert. So if you've never seen Forbidden Planet, you really want to see it, you really don't want any spoilers whatsoever, skip ahead 30 seconds. Okay, so in the movie we are introduced to an ancient and incredibly advanced alien civilization called the Krell. And the Krell perished in one terrifying and bloody night because they inadvertently invented a machine that could read your subconscious and your id and manifest it in reality. Think about that. This incredibly advanced civilization were taken out by monsters that literally came from their own subconscious minds. What does that have to do with anything? Well, I was thinking about it, and it seems to me that the internet, and in particular social media, and all of the powerful algorithms under the surface of social media, has become that machine that can manifest elements from our subconscious into that which can directly affect others. And this is shown in the way that complete batshit stuff like QAnon can spread globally and accumulate hundreds of thousands of devotees. It's the kind of stuff that objectively boggles the mind, and yet you can't deny that it's happening before our very eyes. Well, now, what does that have to do with a record review? Well, the album that I want to talk about today was, until about a week ago, happily humming along somewhere in the middle of the fog of the adult contemporary streaming services, which is when a guy in Idaho named Nathan Apodaca, who works in a potato processing plant and also volunteers as a firefighter, needed to get to work, but his car broke down. So he got on his longboard and skated down the freeway, chugging from a huge bottle of cranberry juice and lip-syncing to Fleetwood Mac's Dreams. The video is amazing. If you haven't seen the video yet, find it. I will do my best to put a link down below. His original TikTok video post has positive hashtags, morning vibe, happy hippie, things like that. And the video itself is filled with joy. It's an incredibly infectious and wonderful video. So he posts it, and it gets millions of views. Fleetwood Mac's song Dreams suddenly jumps to the global #1 song. Ocean Spray cranberry juice is flying off the shelves. And one of the happy endings of this is that Ocean Spray gave Nathan a brand new truck. This is the way the algorithms of the internet are supposed to work. Let's spread joy. Let's spread these positive messages, disseminating all through the world this accidental, completely unexpected, and yet joy-filled commute to your job. Remember, when it comes to online, the fact remains that you are what you search. You are what you view. You are what you like, even if you don't think anyone's watching. And so what better reason do you need to share a completely accidental and unexpected and yet joy-filled commute to work? And that brings us to the record part of this record review. And that, of course, is Fleetwood Mac Rumors. Their biggest record by far. And it is the record on which Dreams appears, a song by Stevie Nicks. So Fleetwood Mac, this is the second album that they released after Stevie Nicks joined the band. And so let me back up a little bit before that. So Fleetwood Mac as a band goes back to the mid-60s. And up until about 1975, they were a run-of-the-mill white British blues band. And while we can all appreciate the massive influence that the blues has had on rock music, and all music really, the world honestly didn't really need as many white British blues bands as it had in the late 60s. So after some turmoil in the late 60s and the early 70s, a number of people left Fleetwood Mac, including their guitarist, And so the remainder of the band, Steve and Christy McVie, a married couple, and Mick Fleetwood, the drummer, ran across Lindsey Buckingham, who's a guitarist, in a duet with his wife, Stevie Nicks. They wanted to recruit Lindsey Buckingham as their new guitarist, and he said that he would only join the band if they took Stevie Nicks as well. Good thing they did. The first album with the new lineup is what is actually my favorite Fleetwood Mac album, and it's just called Fleetwood Mac. And audiophile trigger warning, this is a better sounding album than Rumors. Rumors, however, was the one that exploded. It was the #1 record, it had huge hits on it, tons of radio playtime, and it had enormous crossover appeal. And it's filled with as many earworm hooks as any record that's ever been released. And in addition, it has a really kind of startling cover. And if you look at the cover, you'll see Mick Fleetwood, the drummer, this big skinny guy here. You'll see Stevie Nicks, the superstar new addition to the band. And what is so remarkable about this cover is that Mick Fleetwood, while dressed in kind of a typical 70s Ian Anderson Renaissance fair fashion, is hanging 2 giant balls down between his legs, which I have to say is kind of impressive. Anyway, it really is a great record. It deserves its fame. I'm glad they've gotten a big boost from Nathan's video, and they have appreciated it. Mick Fleetwood has made a video of thanks. And speaking of thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next video. Bye.